Defending on FC25 can be hard, but by the end of this video, you will have the blueprint to perfect your defense. First things first, however, you need to stop wrestling with the right stick. This is my right stick, and this is how most of the players switch on FC25. They do wrestling with the right stick like this. This is me wrestling with the right stick. See, half of the switches aren't even registering. You simply have to gently maneuver your right stick. I will switch to Vinicius, back to Mendy, into Valverde, into Mbappe in an instant by doing this. Okay, just see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This mechanical bit was important to show you because most FC25 players complain that they are not able to right stick switch correctly. Yes, sometimes the servers are heavy and switches don't register. That happens to me as well. But regardless of playing in 50 ms, 40 ms, I am able to right stick switch properly. This is how I do it. And the other thing you have to focus on is the fact that you have to use your player as a reference point. The second thing, and the biggest mistake most FC25 players make when defending, and this is what I see a lot during coaching classes, no matter if I'm coaching a Div 6 player, a Div 1 player, it's the same thing. Some people think that they are supposed to defend with one guy only. So maybe you watch one of the videos where they say, okay, all you have to do is select your CDM and then defend with him. Do not touch your back line. This is wrong advice. If I tell you to do this, what I am saying is incorrect. Yes, you are not supposed to pull players out of position most of the times. This game, 2 plus 2 doesn't equal to 4. What does that mean? It means that you need to have the situational awareness. Sometimes there is the requirement to pull a player out of position. And this is exactly what you are going to learn, how to develop that situational awareness. For that very reason, I want you to focus on this clip. Here, how many switches do I make? I make at least 5 switches. I use second man press and I get the ball back successfully. This is what we have to focus on. Okay. See, first things first, we see that Marquisio is on the ball. So we use Valverde and use second man press with Hanson. At any given point, we want to achieve two things. That is to cut a passing lane and apply pressure on the ball carrier. This is what we are doing. He then turns back. We saw that. So what do? We mark the next passing lane with Alexia. We switch to Alexia and still we are holding the second man press button because we want to achieve two things at once. This is exactly what we try to do. We fail and then we recognize, okay, he has passed our midfield. We switch to Saliba. We position Saliba correctly. And then afterwards, we use Valverde. And this is exactly what we do until we sense an opportunity to get the ball back. Now, if you noticed, I am always focused on two things. One is to defend with numbers. Because if I will be in a 1v1 situation, what will happen? It will be easier for the attacker to beat me. Any half-skilled attacker will always have an advantage over you when you are defending 1v1. How do you fix that? You fix that by making sure that you are not getting 1v1 often with attackers. So you have to defend with numbers. And defending with numbers is impossible until you utilize the right stick and develop situational awareness. Do not be tunnel visioned. This is what tunnel vision means. So if you are focusing on one attacker and ignoring all the other potential threats, if you are focused on the guy who is on the ball and ignoring all the players who are not on the ball, then you are setting yourself up for failure. You want to be able to cut more than one passing lane while at the same time applying pressure on the ball carrier. Now, once you have done that, you also have to win the ball back. That is when you need to know when to pounce. Most players either are too aggressive or too passive. They don't know when to pounce. And pouncing on the opponent is really important to win the ball high up on the pitch. The moment your opponent takes too much time on the ball, you want to be confident in yourself and run towards him. As you can see with DiMarco, I am running in the passing lane. At the same time, I'm also closing him down. This means he cannot pass the ball to Salah. And if he passes to Vinicius, I have Saliba covering him. Now this is an ideal opportunity for me to press that tackling button, and that is exactly what I do. I am pouncing on the opponent. This gives me an opportunity to launch a counter attack. Same thing, if he takes too many touches on the ball, we are going to pounce on the ball. Okay, you will see how he is taking a lot of time on the ball with Varane. What do? We first mark his passing lanes. When we see, okay, you are taking too much time, I will not give you the time you want on the ball, so I will pounce on you. This only happens when you develop situational awareness, and that is something which comes from practice. The best way to develop situational awareness, like I said, is to always be aware of what's happening around the ball. Which guy is making the most dangerous run? Okay, the first rule of defense is to keep a straight back line. Second rule is to make sure that you're always marking the most dangerous run. The third rule of defense is to cut passing lanes. And the fourth rule of defense is to timely apply pressure. You have to keep these four things in your mind if you want to be able to win the ball successfully at all times. It is not as simple as, oh, don't pull a player out of position or just press circle when they are away from the ball. That is not how it works. This is exactly what situational awareness does. Just look at this gameplay example with DiMarco. I am defending a very difficult situation with Saliba. And you might think this is very common and this is very easy to defend. But guys, this is exactly where situational awareness comes in. Okay, he beats my fullback. And then his Mbappe is through on goal. So what button am I holding? I am holding the sprint button with Saliba, making him think that I am going to run with you. The moment we see, okay, he is doing a ball roll, I was aware of what he is doing on the ball, and I was also aware of what's happening off the ball. That is the moment I see Mbappe making a run in behind. So I slow down with the L2 button, and what happens? I end up winning the ball. This is what you have to repeat during all times when you're defending. Now check this video out here to master attacking.